On page 142 of the hardcover edition of his book God is Not Great, Christopher Hitchens says that the account of Jesus' resurrection in the Gospel of Mark wasn't in the Gospel of Mark originally, and was added years later. That is simply not true. Hitchens doesn't state his source of information for this claim because he can't. There is none. All of the manuscripts of the Gospel of Mark that we know of have the same story near the end. That Mary Magdalene and two other women went to Jesus' tomb on the first Easter Sunday to anoint his body with perfumed oils, that they found the tomb empty, and that a young man dressed in white told them that Jesus had risen and that they should go report that fact to the other disciples. It is true that the very end of the Gospel of Mark, after the story of the three women at the empty tomb and the young man dressed in white, has been the subject of some controversy. The New American Bible, published in the United States by the Catholic Church in 1971, has quite a few footnotes, and at the end of the Gospel of Mark, the footnotes explain that some of the early manuscripts, after describing that episode of the three women at the empty tomb with the young man dressed in white, have a long ending, while the other manuscripts have a shorter ending. But there is no big difference between the two endings. The differences are just not significant. So let me put it bluntly, Hitchens was obviously trying to deceive his readers by creating the false impression that the earliest manuscripts of the Gospel of Mark don't say Jesus rose from the dead. That's what's going on here. Hitchens wants people to think that the Gospel of Mark originally did not say Jesus rose from the dead, and that the story of the resurrection was falsely concocted and added to the Gospel of Mark years later. It isn't true. He has no evidence to back up that claim, and no Bible scholar believes it.